Perfect Peter's Pirate Party. Now let's see, said Mum, consulting her list. We need pirate flags, pieces of 8, swords, treasure chests, eye patches, skull and crossbones plates. Have I missed anything? Horrid Henry stopped chewing. Wow! For once, Mum was talking about something important. His Purple Hand Pirate Party wasn't till next month, but it was never too soon to start getting in supplies for the birthday party of the year. No, the century. But wait, Mum had forgotten cutlasses. They were essential for the gigantic pirate battle Henry was planning. And what about all the ketchup for fake blood? And where were the buckets of sweets? Horrid Henry opened his mouth to speak. That sounds great, Mum, piped Perfect Peter, but don't forget the pirate napkins. Napkins. Check, said Mum, smiling. Huh? I don't want napkins at my party, said Horrid Henry. This isn't for your party, said Mum. It's for Peter's. What? What do you mean it's for Peter's? Gasped Horrid Henry. He felt as if an icy hand had gripped him by the throat. He was having trouble breathing. Peter's birthday is next week, and he's having a pirate party, said Mum. Perfect Peter kept eating his muesli. But he's having a Sammy the Snail party, said Horrid Henry, glaring at Peter. I changed my mind, said Perfect Peter. The pirates was my party idea, shrieked Horrid Henry. I've been planning it for months. You're just a copycat. You don't own pirates, said Peter. Gordon had a pirate party for his birthday, so I want pirates for mine. Henry, you can still have a pirate party, said Dad. No! Screamed Horrid Henry. He couldn't have a pirate party after Peter. Everyone would think he'd copied his wormy-toed brother. Henry pounced. He was a poisoned arrow whizzing towards its target. Thud! Peter fell off his chair. Smash! Peter's muesli bowl crashed to the floor. Ah! Screeched Perfect Peter. Look what you've done, you horrid boy! Yelled Mum. Say sorry to Peter. Sobbed Peter. I won't, said Horrid Henry. I'm not sorry. He stole my party idea and I hate him. Then go to your room and stay there, said Dad. It's not fair, wailed Horrid Henry. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Sang Perfect Peter as he walked past Henry's slammed bedroom door. Make him walk the plank! Screamed Horrid Henry, which is what will happen to you if you don't shut up! Mum! Henry told me to shut up! Yelled Peter. Henry, leave your brother alone, said Mum. You're the eldest. Can't you be grown up for once and let him have his party in peace, said Dad. No, thought Horrid Henry. He could not. He had to stop Peter having a pirate party. He just had to. But how? He could bribe Peter. But that would cost money that Henry didn't have. He could promise to be nice to him. No way, that was going too far. That little copycat worm did not deserve Henry's niceness. Maybe he could trick him into abandoning his party idea. Henry smiled. Horrid Henry opened Peter's bedroom door and sauntered in. Perfect Peter was busy writing names on his yo-ho-ho pirate invitations. The same ones, Henry noticed, that he'd been planning to send, with the peg-legged pirate swirling his cutlass and looking like he was about to leap out at you. "You're supposed to be in your room," said Peter. "I'm telling on you." "You know, Peter, I'm glad you're having a pirate party," said Henry. Peter paused. "You are?" said Peter, cautiously. "Yeah," said Horrid Henry. "It means you'll get the pirate cannibal curse and I won't." "There's no such thing as a pirate cannibal curse," said Peter. "Fine," said Horrid Henry. "Just don't blame me when you end up as a shrunken head dangling round a cannibal's neck." Henry's such a liar, thought Peter. He's just trying to scare me. "Gordon had a pirate party and he didn't turn into a shrunken head," said Peter. Henry sighed. "Of course not, because his name doesn't start with P. The cannibal pirate who made the curse was named Blood Boil Bob." "Look, that's him on the invitations," said Henry. Peter glanced at the pirate. Was it his imagination, or did Blood Boil Bob have an especially mean and hungry look? Peter put down his crayon. "He had a hateful younger brother named Paul, who became Blood Boil Bob's first shrunken head," said Henry. "Since then, the cannibal curse has passed down to anyone else whose name starts with P." "I don't believe you, Henry," said Peter. He was sure Henry was trying to trick him. Lots of his friends had had pirate parties, and none of them had turned into a shrunken head. On the other hand, none of his friends had names that began with P. "How does the curse happen?" said Peter slowly. Horrid Henry looked around. Then, putting a finger to his lips, he crept over to Peter's wardrobe and flung it open. Peter jumped. "Just checking Blood Boil Bob's not in there," whispered Henry. "Now, keep your voice down. Remember, dressing up as pirates, singing pirate songs, talking about treasure wakes up the pirate cannibal. Sometimes, if you're lucky, he just steals all the treasure. Other times he bounces!" shrieked Henry. Peter turned pale. "Yo-ho, yo-ho, a pirate's life for me," sang Horrid Henry. "Yo-ho." "Whoops, sorry, better not sing, in case he turns up." "Mom!" wailed Peter. "Henry's trying to scare me." "What's going on?" said Mum. "Henry said I'm going to turn into a shrunken head if I have a pirate party." "Henry, don't be horrid," said Mum, glaring. "Peter, there's no such thing." "Told you, Henry," said Perfect Peter. "If I were you, I'd have a Sammy the Slug party," said Horrid Henry. "Sammy the Snail," said Peter. "I'm having a pirate party and you can't stop me, so there." "Rats!" thought Horrid Henry. How could he make Peter change his mind? "Don't do it, Peter," Henry howled spookily under Peter's door every night. "Beware! Beware!" "Stop it, Henry!" screamed Peter. You'll be sorry, horrid Henry scrawled all over Peter's homework. Remember the cannibal curse, Henry whispered over supper the night before the party. Henry, leave your brother alone or you won't be coming to the party, said Mum. What? Miss out on chocolate pieces of 8? Henry scowled. That was the least he was owed. It was so unfair. Why did Peter have to wreck everything? It was Peter's birthday party. Mum and Dad hung 2 huge skull and crossbones pirate flags outside the house. The exact ones, horrid Henry noted bitterly, that he had planned for his birthday party. The cutlasses had been decorated and the galleon cake eaten. All that remained was for Peter's horrible guests, Tidy Ted, Spotless Sam, Goody Goody Gordon, Perky Pavine, Helpful Harry, Telltale Tim and Minnie Minnie to go on the treasure hunt. Yo-ho, yo-ho, a pirate's life for me, sang horrid Henry. He was wearing his pirate skull scarf, his eye patch, and his huge black skull and crossbones hat. His bloody cutlass gleamed. Don't sing that, said Peter. Why not, baby? Said Henry. You know why, muttered Peter. I warned you about the blood-boiled Bob, but you wouldn't listen, hissed Henry. And now... He drew his hand across his throat. Hey, everyone, let's play Pin the Tail on Peter. Mum! Wailed Peter. Behave yourself, Henry, muttered Mum, or you won't be coming on the treasure hunt. Henry scowled. The only reason he was even at this baby party was because the treasure chest was filled with chocolate pieces of 8. Mum clapped her hands. Come on, everyone, look for the clues hidden around the house to help you find the pirate treasure, she said, handing Peter a scroll. Here's the first one. Climb the stair. If you dare, you'll find a clue just for you. I found a clue, squealed Helpful Harry, grabbing the scroll dangling from the banister. Turn to the left, turn to the right, reach into the bag, don't get a fright. The party pounded off to the left, then to the right, where another scroll hung in a pouch from Peter's doorknob. I found the treasure map! Shouted Perky Pavine. Oh, goody, said Goody Goody Gordon. Everyone gathered round the ancient scroll. It says to go to the park, squealed Spotless Sam. Look, X marks the spot where the treasure is buried. Dad, waving a skull and crossbones flag, led the pirates out of the door and down the road to the park. Horrid Henry ran ahead through the park gates and took off his skull and crossbones hat and eye patch. No way did he want anyone to think he was part of this baby pirate party. He glanced up the swings. Was there anyone here that he knew? Phew! No one. Just some little girl on the slide. The little girl looked up and stared at Horrid Henry. Horrid Henry stared back. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Henry began to back away, but it was too late. Henry! Squealed the little girl. Henry! It was lisping Lily, New Nick's horrible sister. Henry had met her on the world's worst sleepover at Nick's house, where she...
Henry! I love you, Henry!
Squealed lisping Lily, running towards him.
Will you marry with me, Henry?
Horrid Henry turned and ran down the windy path into the gardens. Lisping Lily ran after him.
Henry! Henry!
Henry dived into some thick bushes and crouched behind them. "Please don't find me! Please don't find me!" he prayed. Henry waited, his heart pounding. All he could hear was Peter's pirate party advancing his way. Had he lost her? "I think the treasure's over there!" shouted Peter. Phew! He ditched her. He was safe.
Henry?
Came a little voice.
Henry! Where are you? I want to give you a big kiss.
Then Horrid Henry remembered who he was. The boy who'd got Miss Battleaxe sent to the head. The boy who defeated the demon dinner lady. The boy who was scared of nothing. Except injections. What was a pirate king like him doing hiding from some tiddly toddler? Horrid Henry put on his pirate hat and grabbed his cutlass. He'd scare her off if it was the last thing he did. "Ah!" roared the Pirate King, leaping up and brandishing his bloody cutlass. Squealed lisping Lily. She turned and ran, crashing into Peter.
Pirates! Pirates!
She screamed, dashing away. Perfect Peter's blood ran cold. He looked into the thrashing bushes and saw a skull and crossbones rising out of the hedge, the gleam of sunlight on a blood-red cutlass. "Ah!" screamed Peter. "It's Blood Boil Bob!" He turned and ran. "Ah!" shrieked Ted. He turned and ran. "Ah!" shrieked Gordon, Parveen and the rest. They turned and ran. "Huh?" thought Horrid Henry, trying to wriggle free. Thud. Henry's foot knocked against something hard. There, hidden beneath some leaves, under the hedge, was a pirate chest. Eureka! "Help!" shrieked Perfect Peter. "Help! Help!" Mum and Dad ran over. "What's happened?" "We got attacked by pirates!" wailed Parveen. "We ran for our lives!" wailed Gordon. "Pirates?" said Mum. "Pirates?" said Dad. "How many were there?" 5, 10, hundreds, wailed Minnie. "Don't be silly," said Mum. "I'm sure they're gone now, so let's find the treasure," said Dad. Peter opened the map and headed for the hedge nearest to the gate where the treasure map showed a giant X.
"I'm too scared,"
he whimpered. Helpful Harry crept to the treasure chest and lifted the lid. Everyone gasped. All that was left inside were a few crumpled gold wrappers.
"The treasure's gone,"
whispered Peter. Just then, Horrid Henry sauntered along the path, twirling his hat. "Where have you been?" said Mum. "Hiding," said Horrid Henry, truthfully. "We got raided," gasped Ted. "By pirates," gasped Gordon. No way, said Horrid Henry. They stole all the pieces of 8, wailed Peter. Horrid Henry sighed. What did I tell you about the cannibal curse? He said. Just be glad you've still got your heads. Boy, chocolate pieces of 8 were always yummy, but raided pieces of 8 tasted even better, thought Horrid Henry that night, shoving a few more chocolates into his mouth. Come to think of it, there'd been too many pirate parties recently. Now, a cannibal curse party?